Hey. I'm just gonna be honest because I don't want to be a liar. I didn't get a mic yet. I said give me a week or two. Or you gave me a week. Give me another week. I will get a mic. I promise. That promise did not sound genuine. But I will search online for one today.
Hello, Zuko here.
Polyglot. I have talked about this a few times on my channel, but here is the official video where I'm like actually explaining myself. So, I am a very impulsive person. I've said this many times. I am an impulsive person. When I want to do something, I just get up and start doing it. I don't think to plan it, I just start doing it. So when I was younger, I had decided that I wanted to learn sign language. I started watching all these videos to learn it, and I was doing relatively well. I had memorized 300 words already. So like I was out, the momentum was there. And then I just stopped one day. I don't even know why. You just start to forget everything when you don't review. And so that's literally what happens. Like I was on a roll, I was doing pretty well. And then I just stopped. And now I do not remember sign language. I think I know how to like sign my name, but like that's it. Middle school, junior high maybe, I just decided, hey, I want to learn French. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna learn French. Yeah, I can do this. And that lasted 3 days. I printed out all of these words, like I labeled my windows and my door and my floor. Everything was just labeled with stuff. There was like la fenêtre, télévision. I don't remember the rest. Pardon my accent, I'm American. The goal was there, but there was no proper execution. They say to look at your childhood and see what you liked in your childhood because it'll often pop up in your adult years, which I definitely think is true. Me trying to sell drawings for 50 cents as a kid, and now I'm a business owner. It comes full circle, you know what I mean? So that's why they always say to whoever they is, to always look at your childhood because it will often be repeated into your adult years. And that's also a helpful way of finding a career as well, is if you look at whatever you were passionate about as a child, you will probably be passionate about as an adult. Sorry, you can see my phone, which I'm pretending is a microphone, but at first I was like, okay, why am I so like into language? And yes, part of it stems from my childhood. Pardon my neighbor's dog. He loves barking while I'm filming. But anyway, part of that definitely stemmed from my child. Okay, bro, be quiet. I've mentioned this a couple times on my channel, but just so like, so you know the history and the background. I got into K-pop in November of like 2020, I think. And then I think it was December of 2020 or probably January of 2021. Probably December. I think December. I had just casually said to myself, I was like, oh, I wish I could learn Korean. And I kind of just like let that go. I just didn't think much of it. And then I kind of like paused and I asked myself like, why do you keep doing that? Why do you say, I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that, and just leave it as a wish? You know what I mean? And I think a lot of us do that with a lot of things. We tell ourselves, oh, I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that. And then we never ever continue to dwell on that thought. We never try and push to see if we can actually achieve it. We kind of just wish for it. And I asked myself, like, why do you keep doing that? Why do you wish on something but then not actually try and achieve it? And at first the idea sounded so strange to me because I was like, bro, you couldn't even memorize sign language or French. Now you're trying to learn Korean? Girl, that's a whole other alphabet. So I was like, I don't know. But I kept thinking about it because that was the first time I ever asked myself, why don't I? I never ask myself, well, why don't you? I'm always kind of just like, yeah, I can't do it. I was like, you know what? Let's try. Still a little impulsive, I will be honest. I had gone on YouTube and was it vowels? I think it was vowels. I wasn't even learning consonants yet. So like the basic vowels of Hangul. So I was learning that, right? Yeah, it was a little jarring at first because I'm like, huh? So I watched that video for a week straight, studied it, and I managed to memorize it. So I was like, okay. So I continued to do that until I finished learning the entire alphabet. Until I learned all of Hangul, then I was like, oh snap, wait a second, like I'm kind of like actually doing pretty well. And that's kind of where the excitement started for me. The desire started to build, or the drive to want to learn started to build when I realized I was actually like progressing. And so then I was like, okay, maybe I should take this seriously because I want to see if I could do this. And so the first thing I got up and I was like, God, I'm going to try to learn Korean. And I was like, God, I invite you into this because I can't. I have tried many times to learn different languages and I've just never been good at it. So I was like, God, I am inviting you into this. You care about the little things, so I'm inviting you into this. I want to try and learn Korean, but I need your help because I can't do it. Girl, what I say? It has been so much fun. I am a full year in now. I was like, okay, if we're really about to learn a whole language, let's get serious about this. So I had written myself an entire lesson plan. It took me a week to write that whole thing. And it just includes different videos going from like what's the most simple to the most complicated. Words, vocabulary, sentence structure, things like that. And so I had written out an entire lesson plan for myself. And I didn't know when I was going to complete it, but I told myself to go at my own pace. So do a new lesson, review it for a week, go on to the next lesson, review it for a week, and kind of just keep going. And also, like I said, I extended grace. So like if it takes me longer than a week to memorize, that's cool. Keep reviewing until you really have it. Language is not something you cram for. It's something you genuinely have to study and review so it sticks. Like I said, I'm a year in now, and I'm not confident in my accent, like my pronunciation, I mean. It's not horrible. It's not great. It's not even good. Maybe decent, but probably less than decent. The point is, I'm proud of myself because I stuck with something. From learning Korean, it made me realize, like, if you want to do something, do it. I think I always had this mindset that, like, I would look at other people's lives and be like, wow, I wish I could do that, but I can't. And I would just leave it at that. I'd be like, I can't. I'd look at other people chasing their dreams or going for things that look really big for them and accomplishing them. And I would tell myself, like, that's not me, that's them. Like, I can't do that. I know it's something so simple. It's simple. I'm just learning a language. But through the process of learning Korean, which is a completely different language from English, it's just made me realize, like, if you really put your mind to something, Ashley, you can actually do it. Because I'm genuinely surprised in myself at how well I'm able to retain information. Because I always say that I have bad memory and I have a bad attention span. And although I honestly do, I'm doing really well, I would say, for myself. It's made me realize I can do so much more than just learn a language. It's made me realize that I can take risks in other areas and I can do other things that might seem too big for me, but as long as I push for it and I work hard for it, I can do it. I know it's crazy. Learning a language has taught me all that. I have always said that learning Korean is a hobby for me, and to a certain extent it is. It's a hobby that I'm doing actively every day. I'm studying every day, but I do consider it a hobby, and I think it's good if you get a hobby that is challenging in some way. Learning a language I like because it still keeps you active. Even if not physically, it keeps your brain active. And I think it's important that you get a hobby that is the complete opposite of what you do for work. That way you're not burnt out. So like if you're an artist or something, maybe like pick up sewing or something, or like cooking, like something that just works a different part of your brain. Although I think sewing and art are not a different part of your brain, but you get my example, right? It's just doing something that's different from what you already do day in and day out. And so for me, learning a language, it is so different from like editing a video or writing, because I'm writing in the language that's my native tongue, you know. Or filming a video is more technological, but like learning a language, bro, it's a lot of sitting down, studying, a lot of repetition, learning how to use my tongue to say certain sounds. It's learning to pronounce sounds differently and memorizing things and learning to associate that capital E is not a capital E, but it makes a T sound. So obviously I explained how I'm learning Korean, and that's kind of the start. That's kind of what catapulted me into wanting to become a polyglot, because like I said, it really boosted my confidence and made me realize like, oh snap, if I could learn this language, I could learn this language too. I could learn that one too. And it made me go back to my childhood dream, which was to learn language. And so I've said this in another video, but the next languages I want to learn are Arabic, Russian, Italian, and obviously Haitian Creole because my parents are Haitian. I'm thinking I would probably do Haitian Creole next because I imagine it's going to be a lot easier than the other ones I named because I have people in my household who already speak it. I know some of the vocabulary already, and I know the sentence structure already, so it's not like I'm starting from ground zero. So I think I would choose that language next. I chose Korean because I thought it sounded nice, and that's really just how I choose the language I'm gonna learn. Like, if it sounds pretty, I want to learn it. So I'm not here to give advice on how to properly learn Korean or learn a language, because I'm just doing it for the fun of it, and I'm allowing it to take as long as it wants to take. I'm not really on a time crunch or anything. I will make a whole separate video about like really going into like what I used to study if you'd like to see that. But this video is just a rundown of why I'm becoming a polyglot and how that's going and stuff like that. I wanted to share this because in a weird way I wanted to inspire you to go for things that maybe you were afraid of, things that felt intimidating to you that you didn't think you could do. I'm hoping this video encourages you to just try it anyway. No more saying, I wish I could do this. Just go and try and do it. You are capable of more than you think you are. As somebody who does not have the best memory or attention span, I'm doing a really good job learning this language, and that's something that I thought was going to be super challenging for me. But also, you have to want it. That's the thing. I think the reason why it's not challenging for me is because I want it. It's not easy. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, I'm just breezing through. Like, no. I have been stuck on the same deck of cards for vocab words for like 2 weeks because my brain just cannot memorize it. But that's fine. I'm not being hard on myself. I'm going to keep going till I get it. But yeah, try new things. Try the things that scare you. But anyway, I will catch you guys next week. Peace. Hi, I almost forgot to say, if you are interested in the shirt that I'm wearing, it says Yahweh University. It's available on my site. It'll be down below in the description. Okay, peace.